Hello everybody, welcome back to Business in the OC. One of the fastest group of entrepreneurs that's growing in the United States is women. And Camille Jayne joining me on this edition of Business in the OC. And Camille, let's talk about the National Association of Women's Business Owners, and NAWBO for short. Right. What's the organization all about and your involvement in it as well?
Well, NAWBO is an organization that is differentiated from other women's organizations because they're all women business owners. They own their own businesses. And I'm a member. And last year I was president of NAWBO. This year Barry Carrion is president. So you're president for 1 year, president-elect for the year before that. Okay. And then immediate past president. So you have a 3-year term. And we were very successful, and the board are all volunteers. They're all women who own their own businesses, and we built it into the largest NAWBO chapter in the United States of 90 chapters. Wow. It's wonderful because we started an education center, so you can take classes. We have success teams, which are groups that you can be with your peers to learn, and they're facilitated by expert advisors. We have a mentoring program that is one of the best in the country, so it's a wonderful thing to do for women, with women.
Where do you find that the most successful entrepreneurs are coming out of in the United States? Is it this part of the country? Is it back east?
I may be biased, but I definitely say California. We just had one of our past presidents, Kathy Doherty, come back from Sacramento. And in California, the highest percentage of businesses are owned by women. I think over 51%, and they account for, I think, $230 billion in revenue. Wow. And in Orange County alone, over 50% of the businesses are owned by women, and I think we account for about $40 billion in revenue. I think California is a little bit of ahead of the game in that sense.
Is there an international mix in your organization?
Oh yes,
okay.
It's truly diverse.
Yeah.
It's great, and about a third of our chapter are sole proprietors. Another third are folks like myself who came from the corporate world and then decided to start their own business. And the other third are women who have had their own businesses for over 10, 15 years, and their revenues are anywhere from $5 million up to $200 million.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
That is awesome. What about Girls Inc.? You and I briefly talked about it. Tell us about that, because it's another thing that you're involved in.
Yeah, I'm on the board of trustees of Girls Inc. They're also a chapter. There's a national organization, and our mission is to inspire all girls to be strong, smart, and bold. And girls from 4.5 years old up through 18 can take classes after school. They come to their center, and Girls Inc. also goes on into about 51 schools in the Orange County community. Financial literacy, fit girls and families, teaching them about science, math, and technology, persuasion, and being bold. So it's wonderful because there's a very high percentage of girls who finish high school, who go to college more when they're in a Girls Inc. program. So they reach about 4,500 girls in Orange County, but for every one that they reach, there are 34 that need help.
Yeah.
So.
You obviously have done some great things in your career. You've walked into boardrooms where they've welcomed you. You've probably walked into boardrooms where they resented you. What advice do you give to women that are trying to follow in your footsteps that get resistance from men? Because there is that sometimes resistance, which is uncalled for. What kind of advice? Because I'm sure that's faced you a number of times.
Actually, I'll be honest, it really hasn't. I think that the way I went through my career was probably not thinking I was a woman per se. I just said I want to be as good as anybody else at what I do, and I worked very hard to do that, and I worked very hard to involve people and be a team player. Yeah. And when people feel that you're really reaching out to them and want to communicate and help them first, it really helps the whole situation. So I felt that my credentials led me in.
And you seem very confident.
Yeah,
so that has to be a part of it.
If you're prepared, you can be confident, but you really do have to prepare, and that's part of the work hard thing. So I really didn't experience that. Okay. It could have been there, but maybe I just didn't recognize it.
That is fantastic. So, you know, it's in the television world, I have seen that.
Yes.
And I get very frustrated with it.
And when I know a lot of people of diversity and minorities do experience that. And I grew up in very male-dominated industries, you know, the cable industry, the banking, phone. But I had wonderful teammates, wonderful supervisors. So like I said, maybe I didn't recognize it, but I never felt that it got in my way. And I never felt that I wasn't working as hard to deserve it as anybody else. But I didn't feel it was against me any more than anybody else. So.
And here I assumed. you know?
Well, I think unfortunately, like I said, a lot of minorities might feel that, but I think it's sometimes how you approach things. Sometimes, though, you're in places where there's nothing you can do, and that will happen, you know, to you. So,
the one outstanding memory that you have that you turned around a company or you launched a company, as we wind down this segment, anything that pops in your mind when I ask you that?
I think in terms of helping to turn around a company at Universal Electronics, it certainly wasn't just me. I brought on Paul Arling as my president, who is now the chairman and CEO. And the experience there of the whole team, we gave every employee in the company stock options right down to the guys in the whole team effort of seeing everybody see that boat turn and grow to the market share leader. And setting up great succession planning. Paul's doing a great job. It's a wonderful memory, and we had a great time. And it was just a great experience.
I want to talk to you more about that on the other side of the break. You're watching Business in the OC. I'm Paul Higgins. My guest today, Camille Jayne.